Good Saturday morning, everyone. Today on Perspectives, a world-leading manufacturer is making a more than $2 billion investment at the Baldwin County mega site. You've heard us report on the mega site near Bay Minette for some time now. Recently, it was in the running for a major auto manufacturing facility. Now, ironically, though, Novelis, the mega site's new anchor tenant, provides aluminum to the automotive industry. Novelis is a global leader in the production of innovative aluminum products and solutions and is the world's largest recycler of aluminum. The plant will be the first of its type built in the U.S. in 40 years. Novelis is investing $2.5 billion into the low-carbon recycling and rolling plant. Now, roughly 1,000 new jobs will be created, high-wage, high-skilled jobs that the company projects to pay an average of about $65,000 a year salary. Novelis's customers cover a wide variety of industries, including beverage, packaging, building and construction, aerospace, consumer electronics, and, as mentioned earlier, automotive. Novelis is the world's leading provider of aluminum automotive sheet, and their products can be found in more than 225 vehicle models around the world. Novelis' coming to the mega site has created excitement, of course, throughout our region, as Bay Minette and Baldwin County also see their new partners' economic impact benefiting their residents for many years to come. Joining us this morning on Perspectives, Baldwin County Commission Chairman Jeb Ball and Commissioner Billy Joe Underwood, the Baldwin County Commission's Economic Development Chairman. The Baldwin County mega site's new anchor tenant is now on board. When Perspectives continues this morning, we'll talk about the major economic impact Novelis can make here on the Gulf Coast. This morning on Perspectives, we're talking to two very special guests from Baldwin County this morning. Our chairman of the County Commission, Jeb Ball, is here with us this morning, and Commissioner Billy Joe Underwood. We thank you both for coming this morning, and we're going to share some exciting news. Of course, it's already been announced, but the mega site is something that those of us who think about the area's development and progress and opportunity have been waiting for a while, for that to really hit finally, and you all have the incredible news to share about a company coming in to be that anchor tenant, so to speak, of the mega site. Let's first talk a little bit about that and how that happened, because in our conversations, that wasn't one that you have been working on for an extended period of time, but in the mix of what you do to go after the potential industry and business to come to the mega site, this one came about at a time, and I think you're saying to me it happened faster than we anticipated something like this would happen. So why don't we first talk about who it is and give us a little insight into what their business is, and then we'll talk more in that area.
Go ahead, Billy.
Well, the mega site is something that we want to have good paying jobs for our citizens so that we can improve the quality of life. And so when Novelis, which is the name of the company, when we first heard of it, I honestly had not heard of Novelis before, but I bet all of us have used some of their aluminum in our products all the day. If you've drinking out of an aluminum can, more than likely that came from an rolled aluminum mill. They don't actually make the cans, but they make the aluminum that goes into that. And so this was a very fast project that had come along. At any given moment, we probably had 6 to 12 companies looking at the mega site, but when this one popped up just at the beginning of the year, I know that when I was told about it, I was like, this is it. Let's don't mess this one up.
Now, what made you feel that?
Well, just that it was the product that they produced, and it is sustainable aluminum, and I think the buzzword these days is a circular economy, and the recycling aspect of the product that they use, which is aluminum cans. Novelis uses more than 80 billion aluminum recycled, helps recycle more than 80 billion. That number is beyond my imagination, to be honest with you. And we're a little bit behind in recycling here in our area, so I think this will put us on the map, and it's the most valuable recycled product out there is aluminum.
Well, so Eric, to answer another question you asked about how the process worked, sometime in April we received a call that the company was interested. and we flew out to Kentucky.
Is that where they're headquartered?
To look at a plant that's 40 years old, believe it or not, but it absolutely looked amazing. We studied the employees that were in there, and everybody was just, you felt like at home when you were in their own plant. Everybody was so humble and welcoming to us, and by May 11th, we had an agreement. So it happened that quick.
That's just a few weeks.
Yes, sir.
And the one thing that made me feel good about it was when we flew into Bowling Green, and this plant is in Logan, Kentucky, which is just outside of Bowling Green, and you were driving through a rural area, which is very similar to North Baldwin, and you didn't see a huge manufacturing presence. It still is a rural-looking area, and it's such a clean facility that I knew that it would not hurt Baldwin County.
When you talk about the jobs, and this just came from what you mentioned, is the type of job opportunity where you have to be extremely skilled, or where, it's one of those things that everyone has to have a master's degree to come and apply for work. And to me, that's one of the critical things that we must have again today. So does that meet that kind of need to where most of the people in the workforce in Baldwin County would qualify for employment?
So with the Novelis, they're very special and unique in which they will do their own in-house training while you're on the job. So they work in teams, and somebody that's senior staff on the team will have a team of workers and you don't have to have any experience. And we'll talk about medium incomes and stuff maybe later on, but it's a very good job to be looking forward to for a lot of citizens in the
go ahead and throw that out there. Let's look at that.
Well, the median annual pay for starting out is around $65,000 a year, and all the benefits and everything that goes along with that. So it's a very and we're talking anywhere from 800 to 1,000 jobs initially, and that's not even including the construction workers that will be on site, anybody that's involved in the building process. It's going to just be a huge economic driver for our county and our communities.
That really sounds exciting, and of course, because of where it's located, you have other counties that are going to be a part of this thing.
That's right.
Because you're right there by I-65.
Yes, sir.
And so talk about the regional aspect that you expect for this. There was always one of the goals for it to be a regional driving force, and you've got that opportunity now.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. We can draw from your county, Mobile. We can draw from Escambia County. We can draw from, of course, Baldwin County. And since it's off of I-65, a lot of people from the area can actually take I-65 to get there from Mobile, instead of having to go around the other way.
And a lot of people, growing up in Atlanta, we used to have people driving in about an hour from outside the city for good paying jobs with benefits and opportunities. So we think about people an hour away from the mega site who would make that drive on a daily basis, I'm sure.
Right, and just another number to throw out there is the average pay there is 53% higher than any other annual wage pay in Baldwin County. So it's a very enticing job to go after, especially for people, maybe that didn't go to college, that's graduating high school, or just from the existing workforce that's already in town. So.
Wow. Well, give us an idea of exactly what would they be doing there at Novelis.
Well, it's going to be a highly sophisticated manufacturing facility where a lot of it is automated, but it will encompass a lot of jobs. They're going to be using renewable energy. So there's going to be all aspects of these jobs. When we were there, I don't really understand all the manufacturing aspects of it, but the workers that we encountered were so excited about what they were doing. So a true manufacturing facility to be so highly, it's a clean facility and all that. It's amazing. So they're going to use renewable energy. They'll have their own wastewater treatment facility on site. So there's going to be all aspects to this that are going to be, and whatever that Novelis doesn't train in-house, they're a great collaboration amongst the junior college system. Baldwin County Board of Education is already broke ground on Career Tech High School, which is going to be one of the first of its kind, that is going to be in the Stapleton area, very centrally located for the geographic area of Baldwin County. So it's just almost like it's too good to be true. So it's really great.
That is exciting. And I did a program with Coastal Alabama, and they've got some things in place as they target and look for the opportunity to partner with business. So I'm sure I've got to do a follow-up with them because they're extremely excited, I'm sure, as well.
Yes.
Right.
Do you expect that to also, in turn, have a reciprocal effect on the building of homes up in the Bay Minette, northern part of the county area, Stapleton?
Yes, sir. We've already have seen some ground being cleared, and I asked the other day what the ground was being cleared for in this apartment-style complexes. So the word is getting out, and some landowners are selling big parcels of land, and it looks like we're going to have some subdivisions being built, and because that is one of the things that's going to be needed is a sustainable house to live in when you come to work, if you don't want to travel back and forth. But I do see it really impacting the North Baldwin area for sure. And
of course, you all have a lot of land in Baldwin County where things can happen. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the mega site and Novelis, and of course, the excitement of what this means for the coastal Alabama area.
Yes, sir.
All right, our commissioners, Jeb Ball and Billy Joe Underwood, will talk more in just a moment. Welcome back to Perspectives. Our very special guest today, Commissioner Billy Joe Underwood and Commissioner Jeb Ball, the chairman of the County Commission in Baldwin County. And we're talking about the excitement of the mega site, as well as learning more, because this is not just a company coming, but we're talking about someone making a major investment into Baldwin County.
Yes, sir. Their initial investment is going to be around $2.4 billion. So that's numbers that we haven't seen that much before here. So it is going to be a phenomenal change in the way our county will work.
And you talked about looking at what they do. This is the first time they have made this investment in a while.
About 40 years ago is the most recent time that they've built a manufacturing facility, and so we've learned a lot as far as technology. So this one will be their most modern based, clean, safe facility that's been built in the United States in about 40 years.
And we were talking earlier about the advantage of aluminum over, let's say, plastic, because there are concerns about plastic and how do we get rid of it. And
yes.
So this is another step here.
This is actually I brought with me today. I'd never really seen these, and now I'm kind of taking note more of aluminum products. But these are not solo cups. These are aluminum cups, and they're completely recyclable, and they have the Novelis name on them. And if you can go now to even the grocery store, and the company Ball that makes like the canning products, that's the most thing I'm familiar with. They make these, and you can buy them now. They're a little bit more expensive, but they can be used over and over again. They don't crack as easily or anything like a solo cup would, not to put down a plastic cup. But when we're talking about beverage containers like Coke cans and different things like that, and hopefully we'll start drinking our water more out of aluminum cans rather than the plastic bottles. 80% of that is recycled and reused versus 59% glass containers for beverages versus, I think it's in the teens, if I can remember, like 12% on plastics. So it really puts plastics to shame. And one thing that they mentioned was, like in a study that was recently done, was that an aluminum can is only got about 60 days between the time that it is recycled and put back on a shelf to use. So it is amazing, and aluminum doesn't lose its I don't know, quality.
Right,
it can just be used over and over again, and it only costs about 5% to reclaim aluminum through recycling versus going after the raw material.
And you talked about the aspect of recycling, Alabama's not being in the foreground of this kind of situation, so this will change possibly that aspect.
So yes, when Novelis came to us, one of their initial asks for us is that it's going to be imperative that Baldwin County steps up in its recycling efforts, and the whole state will fall in line with that. And they did note that we were kind of a lower percentage of the rest of the states that they work with in the recycling aspect. And I'll let Commissioner Underwood share some exciting news that Baldwin County has to do with the recycling aspect. All right.
Well, we were already wanting to do something in recycling, but there's really no money in recycling, and sometimes it's hard to make decisions to spend taxpayers' dollars on something that costs you a lot of money. And so Baldwin County Commission is committed to, we own the solid waste in Baldwin County, so we own our landfills. We will be putting out bids for, the acronym is MRF, which is a Materials Recovery Facility. Okay. We'll be putting those bids out the latter part of this year. We hope to break ground on this MRF in May of 2023. We hope it to be in full operation by the end of the year, just in time for Novelis to be finishing up some of their facilities in probably 2024, 2025. And this is so incredible because this is a mechanized way of sorting single stream recycling, whereas a lot of times we've been having to use, the reason is because hand sorting is just not safe and it's not efficient. So
that is exciting. And you know, some of the major moves like this, when the large companies come in, subsidiary things also come along with it. Are you expecting other companies to come who have relationships with Novelis that'll be also in the mega site?
Well, I think in the mega site alone, Novelis has taken the whole site.
Oh,
so all 3,000 acres have been
all
encompassed
3,000 acres
by Novelis, and they have plans in the near future. The construction of this facility will start this September, and they have to be fully functional and operational. Their goal date is in the year 2025. So it's going to be an amazing build to watch just over that short length of time. And then there is some talk about another type of training facility that they may build within the site itself to train employees. But as far as other businesses coming to the mega site, I think if other companies saw the opportunity to invest in other land, maybe around Baldwin County or just that already are stable,
right,
will be invested in. It's going to be all over.
The residual effects.
Right.
The actual recycler would be, you know, we would have single stream recycling, so we would have the used aluminum cans, and they'll go to another party that would do the actual recycling, and then Novelis will use that recycled product, and then Novelis will have the rolled aluminum, which will then be sold to someone who makes the cans for Coca-Cola or some, you know, or the sheet metal for a F-150.
Right.
So Novelis receives what's called an ingot, and it's a very large piece of aluminum that is shipped in primarily for this site by rail. And once that ingot hits the plant from the recycled products, then they'll start their rolling process, which it takes a while to make a roll of aluminum, but each roll is specific for each company that's ordering it. And
that was one of the advantages you all had also with the rail, the interstate.
That's right.
And of course the waters nearby too.
Yeah,
right.
and you know, this has been something that we're very thankful that over a decade ago, prior commissioners had made a commitment to this, and it just happened to hit at the right time, and we were here to help, you know, get us over the finish line.
A lot of preparation went into this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, over a decade. So
that is a lot, and when you think about the opportunities now for the new generations of Baldwin County residents who have an opportunity to have that type of employment right there in the county. That is awesome. And
I'm trying to encourage people to look at a true manufacturing type job, because we've not had that in this area, and this will be made in the United States.
Right. So what should, let's say, high school students and college students who are watching this today, what should they do to prepare for the opportunity that will be available in 2-3 years now?
I think the most part is just stay tuned. You know, we will probably be giving announcements out when that comes. The company has not even started those talks with us yet, and I'm sure there'll be some type of program in place that is going to be a recruiting mechanism and will offer the jobs when the time comes. But I think they just need to keep their eyes focused on this for sure, because it is something that's very exciting to be a part of.
And you talked about the school system looking at some things, and then we also mentioned that the community college will also be preparing people for the opportunity. So I guess they will be at the table with you as well.
That's right.
And the guy that led us around at the plant in Kentucky, he said he started out sweeping floors and now he's a supervisor, and he said he loves his job. And he had a college degree, but he said, I basically didn't know anything about this manufacturing. So those of us who may have college degrees, it may not do you any good for that. So these high school students can realize that there's more out there than just having to get an expensive degree. I'm not knocking a formal education at all, because there's some professions that are requiring of that.
Right.
But for the most part, you can get a good paying job without having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars at an institution. Like,
And there's a lot of partnerships involved too, Eric, as far as the power companies are a great partner with us on this, as well as the CSX Railroad, and then the hospitals themselves. The infirmary system has a lot to do with stepping up, and so it's
taking a team effort.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to congratulate both of you, and of course the commission and all of the partners, and we'll be staying tuned and keeping in contact with you so we can get folks updated as things get closer. Thank you both for coming and sharing this.
Thank you.
thank you very much.
All right, our commissioners, Billy Joe Underwood and Jeff Ball. And of course, for more information on the Baldwin County mega site and Novelis, just go to the Baldwin County Economic Development Alliance website. That's baldwineda.com. And here's a number to call as well. You can call 251-970-4083. Bishop State Community College has had a couple of long-serving presidents in its history, which began back in 1927. Now, as of August 1st, the Mobile institution officially welcomed a new president who plans on a long tenure as well. Now, he's a Mobile native, a Murphy High School grad, and one who shares his memories of walking the Bishop State campus years ago as a young elementary school student. So coming up on Perspectives, we'll have a conversation with Olivier Charles, Bishop State's new president. And of course, please join us next Saturday here at 9 a.m. for Perspectives. We thank you so much for joining us here on this Saturday morning. I'm Eric Reynolds. Have a great week ahead.
Thanks for watching Fox 10 News. Watch us live wherever you are on our mobile, our streaming news app, and you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.